if you need more water.
Okay, thank you.
They just asked if you not put that up there for sponsorship.
Do not put it up there? Okay.
Okay, we are ready to resume our coaches press conference with Coach Golden at Florida. And Coach, welcome to the SEC. And at this time, we'll take questions. If you would, please raise your hands, and we're going to start right on the front row.
Tobias, WoolbornAL.com. How are you doing?
Great.
Walk me through what it's going to be like. Well, I guess what it's already been like recruiting against Bruce, but then what it's going to be like the first time you actually step on the court against him.
You know what? I got good practice in my last role at San Francisco because I had to compete against Randy Bennett, who I played for. And so it was, a unique experience battling against someone that you care about, someone that means a lot to you. It's never going to be fun to recruit against those guys, but I think we're going to both be going after, impactful players with decorated resumes. And so that's going to happen being in this league. And I'm kind of looking forward to competing against them, to be honest. I think that's going to be really fun. And, we're both really, really big-time competitors, and we love each other off the floor. But once we get in between the lines, it's going to be a great competition.
Follow up.
Just a quick follow-up. Tell us some things that you have learned from Bruce and how those things have helped your career.
Yeah, he's one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. I was fortunate enough to be with him when he first got the job at Auburn, and transparently, we had a lot of work to do, in regards to recruiting and building up the program. And, just seeing his work ethic and how he led the group was really inspiring. And, I've always really respected how hard he's able to get his players to play for him, and for the program. And so those are a couple things that I've definitely taken from him. Yeah, you're welcome.
In the very back, Bob.
Todd, you're one of 6 new coaches in the SEC, and what do you think about that kind of turnover and kind of coming from the West Coast? What was your perception of the SEC? And I know you haven't obviously coached a game at Florida yet, but has anything changed? Being there and being at meetings and things like that.
In regards to the turnover, I think it's a little fluky in the sense that 6 jobs, happen to turn over in 1 year. You look at the West Coast where I was, very few jobs turned over. So, I don't know if there's anything too much to talk about in that sense. But I feel like the league, I was relatively comfortable with it, even being in the WCC the last few years, because I was able to work in it in 2 years, from 14 to 16 with Bruce, and got in when guys like Coach Barnes were getting hired. I think Muss was right after that. But obviously the coaching in this league has really taken off, I'd say, over the last 7 to 8 years. And that's a big reason as to why they've had a lot more success in regards to basketball here. And, I feel like Florida is one of the better jobs in the league. I feel really fortunate to be here.
Right here to your left.
Yes, Mark Murphy from 24/7 Sports. Todd, talk about what style of play you'd like to have this year, and do you have the personnel to do it, and just your long-range vision and what you want to see Florida basketball become?
You know what, we're always going to play a style that gives our players the best chance to be successful. So some years that might be trying to play fast and get out in transition. Some other years that might be slowing it down and trying to execute in the half court. I think with Colin, who, was picked, obviously, first team all SEC preseason, I think he should be a preseason All-American. He gives us a great building block to be able to play off of in the low post, but we can also play off him at the elbow, top of the key, and he's like an ultimate pressure release for our offense. So having him will be instrumental for us, and Kyle Lofton, who's here with us today, also is great in the pick and roll. And, when you kind of have those bookends where you can score inside, you can play out of the pick and roll, I don't think you have to complicate it too much in regards to what you do. We'll always try to get out in transition and get, efficient, easier baskets. But I'm excited about the fact I think we have ways to score in the half court as well.
Right here to our left.
Kyle Tucker, The Athletic. Just a couple big picture college basketball things. There's some movement on summer basketball and also some talk of expanding the NCAA tournament field. I just wanted to get your thoughts on both of those ideas.
Summer basketball I'm excited about. I think that would be great. You know, we talked about it a little bit. There's, you know, a time period towards the end of the summer where there's not a lot of things going on. You know, so it could be an opportunity for SEC basketball to take over a little more of the market share when there's not a lot happening. So that would be neat, and I think it could be a unique experience for us. In regards to, the second question was? Tournament field. Yeah, I kind of prefer where we are right now. You know, I think 68 is a good number. You know, when they expanded and created the first four, I thought that provided a good buffer for, you know, teams on the bubble in regards to, you know, allowing 4 extra teams in. And, you know, so I'll be good either way, you know, now being here in the SEC, but I like 68.
Right here to your left.
Coach,
right.
not too long ago you played professional basketball overseas. How did that help you in your transition, and how's it helped you as your head coaching careers move forward?
Yeah, you know, first and foremost, it just opened me up in terms of meeting a lot of new people. You know, playing with guys that had played across the country. You know, like we talked about, we played in Israel, Richard and I about the same time, and I had teammates from USC, Villanova, and South Carolina, guys from all over the place, and got to meet those guys and also see how, you know, professional basketball was played, and, you know, experience that, especially the European game for 2 years. Not a lot, but a decent amount of what we do offensively is derived from that, and so I think that was a great experience to kind of learn different styles and, you know, different ways to play offensively and defensively, and I think it gives me a little more the ability to talk to our guys, you know, in terms of how to be professionals and how to attack being a pro in regards to academics and athletics on a day-to-day basis.
Right here. Okay.
Hey, Todd. Kevin Skarbinski with the SEC blog.
Okay.
What is it that you've seen since you've been in Gainesville that convinces you or helps reinforce that Florida is one of the better jobs in the league?
It's I mean, where should I start? You know, it's a great city, great place to raise a family for my wife and I. It's a great college town, but it's also big enough where you can find different places where you don't necessarily feel like you're right around the college campus. So that's unique. And from a basketball standpoint, obviously the history and tradition and the fact that it's something that you can point to that it's not too long ago. You know, when I was at San Francisco, we had some great history and tradition, but, you know, that was back in the 50s and 60s, long before any of our student athletes really had any clue what was going on. But, you know, you look back, and when I was playing from 2004 to 2008, you know, Florida won 2 NCAA championships back-to-back. So you have that, obviously what Coach Donovan was able to do, Coach Kruger before him. The success has been there before, and Coach White actually did a very good job as well, and I think, you know, we're in position to capitalize on that as well.
Any more questions? Here in the middle.
Coach Joe Cox, Saturday Down South. Just wanted to ask you, my grandmother always used to say, you're getting older when the police officers start to look young. The SEC basketball coaches are starting to look young to me. The youth movement of the SEC, I mean, you're one of the new coaches, and, you know, 5 years or so ago, it seemed like it was more a movement toward bringing in older veteran coaches, and now they're bringing in more young coaches like yourself who are program builders. What do you think that says about where the SEC is and what Florida is looking for from you?
You know, I think each of us independently, you know, obviously built up a good enough resume where some of the best, you know, athletic institutions in America thought we could come in and run their programs. So, you know, I did it at San Francisco. Matt did it at Murray. Obviously, Lamont did it at Chattanooga, just to name a few. What Coach Jans did at New Mexico State was amazing. You know, everybody had their level of success at places, well, some of the places that generally didn't have a lot of success in the past, which I think says a lot. And obviously for us, it's a big challenge. You know, we come in here with coaches like Bruce, you know, like obviously Coach Cal, Muss, you know, guys that have Coach Barnes who have had a ton of success across their careers. And for me, you know, I feel like it's our time a little bit to come in here and challenge those guys and see if we can continue to raise the level of this league.
Any more? Right here to your right.
What did Bruce say when you got the job?
Congratulations. No, he was great. I think he was. He's been a big champion of mine over my career, even as a player when I played for him in 2009 in Israel. So we go way back. About 2005 is when I first met Bruce. Steven and I, his son, played together on a team that played in Australia, and he's a mentor of mine. And I think for him it was almost probably like a proud dad moment, to see someone who had worked for him and kind of helped him build the foundation of Auburn, get an opportunity to run a program like Florida. And I know he was proud of me, and he let me know that.
Okay, Coach. Thank you very much, and good
All right.
luck.
Thank you, guys.